You are now listening to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, the Battle Rap Podcast of New York and the world. Follow the show on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Stay up to date with all of the daily news of battle rap culture with all of the latest stories, reports, stats, and facts. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at LTBR Podcast. Last but not least, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com for exclusive content and the latest merch. Enjoy the show.
All right, this is the Resolution 2. This is part 2 of the monologue recap. Of course, I'm your host, France. Let's talk battle rap. If you didn't get a chance to listen to part 1, we recap Chrome 23. That event went down on Sunday. But Saturday, we had a flurry of events as well. We had the Resolution. We had the Straight to It, the Drop, the RB event. We had Don Marino A-Ward that battled. Shotty Horror made his return. All those battles will get their proper recap sometime this week. But right now I want to focus on Resolution. There was 3 battles for the night. This should be quick because we only had 3 battles. First and foremost, I want to say something about the presentation of Resolution that I didn't like, right? I don't know. I seen some flyers that were posted. They were had the wrong cities for DNA and Hollow. We didn't get the full lineup announcement for the card until that Monday. So we had 5 days to know the entire card. Sharon and T-Top was added with 2 weeks prep. Kid Slade and Brandon was added, but Brandon couldn't do the battle due to personal reasons. So that got moved a week later. I don't know. It just felt like that card wasn't all the way locked in or organized. And URL does 30 plus events a year. It's difficult to watch 30 plus events a year, let alone cover 30 events a year, let alone actually host and organize and do 30 events a year. So I don't want to give them too much of a tough time, but I do want to say it felt like some of the marketing efforts weren't all the way there. It felt like a card being fully locked in, and you say Resolution. Think about your first Resolution in Atlanta, and then you think about your second, it just doesn't add up to what you presented with the first. I would have just rather you had just called this card Super Fight, and I would have been all right, because when you say Resolution 2, I'm thinking Cassidy is coming back. I'm thinking a lot of big names. You started off with Clips and Castro and Hollow DNA. I'm already seeing 3 top tier names in the top 20 battle rapper. I'm expecting fireworks, and I'll be honest, for the 3 battles we got, they were not bad battles. 3 battles is a short amount of a card. We're not most consumers, I guess, we're not satisfied with just getting 3 battles a night, even though your night will probably end in less than 2 hours, and you should be happy about that alone. But I don't know. I did feel like there was a organization. The organization kind of just lacked a bit of structure with the way they delivered this event, and I'm sure in the near future, the rest of the caffeine events, they will make the adjustments. But let's start it off, man. T-Top and Sharon, they battled off 2 weeks prep. Listen, man, those 2 are professionals, man. They're constant professionals. Every single time I see T-Top, he has one of the best battles that night. He's giving me one of the best performances that night. I have no complaints. T-Top was awesome. He actually brought out, I wouldn't say new angles, but angles that you don't hear that often, because if you don't watch Sharon's battles off URL, you probably didn't know that he was a scammer. And Sharon freestyling his ass off as always. Sharon's such a good freestyler. The battle was fun. The battle was super duper fun. I actually enjoyed it, and for the fact they did that on 14 days prep, I got nothing but to salute them. Sharon got the victory in my eyes, but if you have T-Top winning 2 of those rounds, I ain't complaining at all. Easy to Block Captain versus A-Verb. All right, let's have a real talk about this battle, right? Here's something I kind of don't like when you get battles and the projections of the battles, right? The prediction polls on from URL, from Caffeine, from us, from other media outlets, from the fans, all that stuff. When it's overwhelmingly dominant for one person, right? And I'm talking 80% to 20%, 85, 15%, 90% to 10%. It creates this high level of expectation. And I want us to I just want everybody to admit it. The expectation curve is a real thing in battle rap, right? When you're projecting somebody to win a battle that clearly, that dominantly, and the other person, you're giving them little to no chance, if they even put up a fighting effort, that'll exceed the expectations that have been set for the battle, and that does shape into a lot of people's brains as if the battle's close, as if the battle is a victory, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't, and I don't know. I thought Verb's first round was a really good round, but it just felt like, all right, this is the first time I'm seeing Verb fully try in a long time. Verb said it himself, end quote, I haven't been this excited since the Loaded Lux battle. And clearly his energy, his aggression, his presence, the way he stepped forward to Easy, he was stepping, like, he put all that into his first round, for sure. And I thought he had moments. I thought he had a lot of good moments. The talk different, we're going to war, what the fuck is we talking for? Like, that was crazy. You know what I mean? The I pet pit bulls, the sound of they hear me, the sound of doors locking and closing. Like he had a lot of stuff in his first round that was good, but like I just didn't feel like it competed with the content of Easy. I know a lot of people's like, oh, I got Verb in the first round, and I also want to say this too, right? Easy and Verb kind of reminded me of Easy and Rex, where it's like it's a win-win situation when you're battling a vet that hasn't really been himself for a long time, hasn't had a high-level performance in a long time, because you're so dangerous right now. Easy is hotter than fish grease. They have no choice but to be the best version of themselves to try to compete with Easy. So you're going to get the best version of them that we haven't seen in a handful of years. Easy is still at a very elite level right now, so he's still probably going to beat that version of them too. But you get the win-win because you get a vintage version of the vet or legend that he's battling, and you get a good Easy performance. And while that is a win-win for both, I still feel like if you're just looking at the content, I don't feel like the battle was competitive. I just didn't feel like the battle was competitive. Like, you know what I mean? And it's tough, man. It's tough because like I do want to make sure Verb gets his credit for, just even still being active in the ring 13 years later, still battling people like Easy the Black Captain 13 years later. Like, Verb has a track record of battling B-Dot in 2017, Twerk in 2018, Geechee 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go down his resume. He battles these kind of people all the time, and it's incredible. But, when Easy's saying stuff like, Spider-Man alarming, my gun senses heightened, clubhouse, you only get invited, you have female tendencies because the pussy and the bitch and you be fighting, C Verb, Hitman, clean the bean, ram to the Cardinals, St. Louis can't keep a team, like, the time of death will be an intro, like, it's insane, it's literally insane to me that, like, some of the things that Easy is saying, but I want to talk about this actually. Easy lost the coin toss, went first. The top of the first round is statistically the most difficult round to win. Let me see if I get the number here, man. So, I did some research, right? On Ultimate Madness, right? Because obviously those are judge battles. And out of the 44 Ultimate Madness battles that took place, do you want to know what the record is for winning the top of the first round? It's very crazy. It's 7-37. That means out of those 44 battles, only 7 times was somebody able to secure a winning round by going first in the battle. That should let you know that round is difficult to win because you're setting the tone for the battle, and momentum, energy, and effort could literally match your content and energy and probably give the viewers a win because that's the last thing they heard. It's literally the hardest round to win in a battle. And truthfully, even when I was at the Remy card, like, I was noticing, like, nobody was winning that round either. Yoshi lost the top of the first. Casey lost the top of the first. You know what I mean? Even Hustle with an amazing top of the first. I have her winning it, but it was close because Couture still made it close. So I just want to say the top of the first round is already a difficult round to win, and I feel like psychologically because somebody matches it, we feel like it's equivalent, and that's what happened with Verb. He kind of tried to match it, and everybody felt like it was equivalent, it was better, and they have him winning. I'm here to say I don't feel that way. Easy's third round is an early all-URL round contender. That third round was incredible. And also I also want to burst this narrative that Eazy's not direct, because I don't understand it. Like every other bar, he's talking about Verb's legacy, bragging about his Mook and Lux battle, St. Louis. He's talking about Hitman. He even flipped the Guardian Angel bar. Like what about all of that is not direct? I didn't understand. But salute to Eazy, another top performance for him. He'll probably be 10-0 on the app real soon once that drops. The streak continues. And salute to Verb for still being outside for the selective names. Also, the main event, Hollow versus DNA. Gotta get a sip of my water for that one too. DNA was good, man. DNA was good. You know what I'm saying? But the battle, I don't want to say the battle was nasty, because like it wasn't terrible, right? It just, Hollow's battles have been weird lately, man. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is anymore, because arguably you could say Hollow beat Rum Nitty in a small room and K-Shine on the big stage, but neither of those two performances, in my opinion, felt like a signature Hollow performance. And against Rum, he's like just rapping, real sporadic, getting all these pockets. With Shine, he's performing, he's rapping, getting all these pockets. With DNA, who I thought he would get real personal with, he didn't really touch on a lot of angles that I thought he would have touched on. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, Hollow's a bit chaotic with his material. It's kind of all over the place, and he has always kind of been that way, but not always still, because even then he was real structured. He's real calculated. He would find ways to drive home his points, right? And it didn't feel that way with the DNA battle. And also him winning the coin toss and choosing to go first was strange, because it's like, you know how good of a freestyler DNA is, and DNA is definitely looking to out-rebuttal you this entire time. And Hollow, you know, talking in between DNA's rounds, getting emotional, like it fueled DNA, and DNA had all these mid-round rebuttals. I thought DNA's first round was amazing. Every other round after that in the battle was okay. It was okay. But I definitely have DNA winning this battle. I feel like DNA was in control of the entire battle, and it never really felt like any moment Hollow snuck the momentum back to his side, if that makes sense. And I did get a chance to rewatch it. I actually thought Hollow had a lot of dope pockets. I was impressed with a lot of his material. I thought his second round was his best round. If I had to give Hollow a round, for sure I would give him the second. You know, but I still feel like that round is debatable too. So I don't feel like Hollow left with any clear rounds. I feel like DNA, you know, really implanted his foot at the bottom of the first, and never really looked back from there. You know, DNA's Luke Cage bar was crazy. The mid round rebuttal with the I talked to myself like the LeBron commercial. I said LeBron because it's gonna escalate the wrong way. Like that shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy that he can do that. Only a handful of guys like A-War, Sharon, DNA, Clips. It's only like maybe even Danny. It's only like maybe like 5 or 6 guys that can really at a high level cut in the middle of their material, rebuttal, and get right back into it. Next is another guy that can do it. Not as high as level the other guys, but he has the skill set, and that skill set to me is always an amazing thing to watch, just because it's like, again, not a lot of people can do it. So DNA secures his victory against Hollow the Don. This is a battle that I probably wish that would have happened a few years earlier, but again, the animosity wasn't there a few years earlier, so it wouldn't have made any sense earlier than later. But I'm looking forward to see what DNA does next. I haven't seen him on his caffeine talking about Loaded Lux for Gnome or Summer Madness. Of course, DNA is very well deserving of any play. There's not a battle on this earth that you can't say DNA is not deserving of. He's more than well decorated as his career cementing itself still to this day to battle anybody. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if the Loaded Lux battle goes down. But that's pretty much it, man. That was Resolution 2. I can't wait to see what the champion cover says. The champion cover probably be Easy, Verb, and DNA, or Easy and DNA. You know what I mean? And we did get announcements, too. We did get announcements for a card at the end of March 27th in Atlanta on a Sunday. We did get Calico versus Chess. That was announced. There was no name to the card, so I actually don't know what kind of card this is yet. But we will find that out as further developments get. We also did get the announcement of Geechee Gotti versus Jazz. That's dope too for Kings and Queens 3. So we got some things to look forward to in the very near future. URL, as always, they're always working. They always got something up their sleeve. So that's pretty much it, man. That's my recap for Resolution 2 and my recap for the entire weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, man, follow the show. Let's Talk Battle Rap. All platforms: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Let's Talk Battle Rap, LTBR Podcast. Follow the show on all streaming platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Enjoy the rest of your day.